Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
And welcome back to Strange Hungers. Last we left off, the party had made their way to Icehole, the dwarven city at the base of Mount Ulior in the Gale Peaks, the mountain range that stretches across the archipelago at the edge of the Valkyrie wasteland. Our expedition talked once again with the leaders of Fulcrum, who set them further on their mission after an extensive report on their travels that had taken them from the coast of Skyhome across a frozen sea to this barren, icy continent, where they will discover, hopefully, the secrets behind the wild, as well as many other monstrosities. Very good. Here in this city of Blackstone, some of the party commissioned or picked up equipment. Matthias, I believe you have acquired, or nearly acquired, a set of armor that is being worked on with some specific customizations. Kiara, as well, has found a fun set of armor for themselves. And Tazriel stumbled into a market and became a little more pierced than before. Maybe a little, maybe a lot more.
Would you call him a holy man now? Is he a cleric?
You've multiclassed, definitively. There are plenty of interesting things to find here in Icehole, but with the weather growing colder, the party is pushed ever more urgently towards the Order and the wastes beyond it, especially with the mystery of an entire town disappearing on their hands. We return here to the inside of this hollowed-out mountain, where thin rivulets of glowing magma stream down the walls and across streets, lighting up the city from underneath. Beautiful metalwork, armored creatures moving around, and elegant designs carved out of stone shape this city. Now, remind me, Awaish, Novel, Tazriel, Kiara, Thias, where are you right now as it heads towards evening, and what are you doing?
I believe that Awaish, Novel, and Tazriel were just coming from the magic shop where they had procured some goodies from a goo.
Wait, it wasn't Novel.
That was Kiara.
It was Kiara. That's what.
Kiara, yes.
We did sword
and
shit.
Novel and Maddie went and did sword shit, yes.
I learned cool sword shit about my sword. It was great.
Oh, yes!
Yeah.
My sword is connected to the weave, baby.
Makes
I
sense.
forgot about that.
Made on a ley line. Love it.
Wow. I'm such a...
Look at your
She
lore.
lay on my line. Oh my god.
She lay my line until I soared.
Also, yes, Alex, your stuff is really cool. Like, it's crazy how good that was written.
Crazy. So wild.
Right? Wow.
So wild.
It's a good lore.
With those encounters wrapped up, Kiara, I think you would have a sense for time passing towards the evening. The rest of you already have an inn that you're staying at for a final night before you set off towards the next morning. Is anyone saying goodbye to Kira before she splits off?
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to do before?
Real quick, just because I'm working on something in the background and I'm going to be focused on that for a while, I want to say that Matthias is like spending some time making a plan and is going to kind of traverse around the city as it kind of gets into evening like relaxation time, and is going to try and find out information about people who have been traveling through the area recently, see if you can find anybody who is traveling currently, and is going to start trying to solicit information and tales as requested by the Fulcrum group. He's going to start asking around like, hey, seen anything weirder than normal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Investigative reporting by Matthias.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Well, he's just gonna go talk to people, you know.
You gotta go talk to people. Matthias, can you give me an investigation check using your charisma with advantage?
Amazing. Yes. Wait, huh? What happened? Oh no! Wait! Oh shit! Sorry, everybody. I forgot. So, D&D Beyond is mad at me. Hold on, I'm gonna fucking... I do have that Heart of Darkness shit, or whatever it is, that's like...
That's why you have advantage.
Oh, they look in my eyes and they see how
look like a wet
sad I
cat.
am. Wet cat. I think that my charisma is a +3, so that's a 16.
16. Excellent. Okay. Matthias, you hear some casual tales of people eaten by animals out in the waste. That happens with frequency. The way that someone might tell you, the weather was bad last week. You just hear 2 men got eaten by a giant bear last week. That's pretty casual. It doesn't seem like the rumors of this mistake have spread very far yet. You don't hear anyone talking about that here. But you are, I would say, both commanding enough and also with order is strong enough here that people will report things to you actually expecting you to do something about them or to send someone who will do something about them. So they're more likely to be honest with you, which means that there are some casual reports of stealing and thieving of fancy armor here that have people generally concerned. Especially because it is quite difficult to steal multiple sets of armor, and in this town, just having that much armor is normal, but in other towns, a set of plate mail could make or break, like, a revolution, or it could allow someone to completely take control of their town. That armor is so valuable.
Damn.
So, a few sets of armor that have been stolen. Nothing much about additional strange magics. The report of gnolls and gnoll or daring has also traveled up to here, but this town has not been has not been attacked.
Interesting. See, here's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna let Kiara go on her day because I want to see what happens. Smash. But fucking see, now what I'm thinking is that I have an extra set of armor that I'm not gonna use, and Matthias is curious about this armor going missing, so what if I lay a trap?
Are you gonna fucking Wile E. Coyote this bitch? Like, are you gonna put a giant box over this armor and just hope?
What if
Free
I go?
armor.
No, I'm gonna go. I go to the inn, right? Visualize it. I go to the inn. I get a room next to the alley. I find the dumpster. I put the armor in the dumpster. I get a room with a window over the dumpster. I sit and I wait.
Now, here's the thing. Anyone would take a valuable suit of armor out of a dumpster. That's not stealing.
Was there?
What if I
someone was
put a
going into
sign on it that
houses.
says, "Please don't take"?
This is my
Please
armor. I'm
don't take
coming
my
back
armor.
to it.
Please don't take my armor.
You have to draw that
Matthias,
emoji next to it.
I want you to put your Machiavellian plots in motion, and we'll assume that you're doing that behind Kiara is preparing for.
Yeah, just imagine like Pink Panther theme, or like some other equally ridiculous
Fucking Inspector
music
Clouseau.
cue. Just a little. Matthias is like on the hunt. He's so intrigued. He's doing a little investigation, detective arc for Matthias.
Oh my
This is what happens when Maddie gets back in the waste. He starts getting ideas.
Anyway, that's it. That's it for me.
Great. Matthias, you.
Patty suddenly has a southern accent.
And a deerstalker cap.
And a deerstalker cap.
Got my knives out.
Perfect.
Teeth
Absolutely
bared.
perfect.
I don't understand it. Compels me though.
That's what he's doing while he's looking out the window. Compels me though.
Matthias, it takes you like the rest of the evening to chat to people about this. And obviously you have some questions here, pulling on those. There is not a strict guard here. This is town that watches out for itself, right? But the guild is the strongest political force. So you would talk to people at the guild, and it makes sense that they would report to you about these thefts.
Hell yeah. Move the mic more directly in front of your mouth when you get a chance. Please.
Hell yeah. There you go.
Thank you.
Okay. So then I think with Kiara maybe splitting off or whatever, what have you, I'd also like to know just what Oesh, Tazril, and Novel are doing this evening.
I mean, first, Oesh
and
would
you-
make sure that Kiara is good and prepared for her date. How?
How?
Just checking. Just saying, what are you planning to do? And are you feeling good?
Say those in your
Yes.
character voice.
Oh fuck. I
Exactly
understand
that.
you're going on a date.
Dad
What's the
preparing
name
you
of
for a
the
date.
What's the name of the person at the barber shop again?
Mantle.
Mantle. I guess we're all like walking along, going. It's like Tazriel, Oesh, Neve, and Kiara, and we're walking back from the magic shop, and we're heading back towards the town. And Oesh just kind of gives like a sidelong glance to Kiara, and then says, "It was Mantle, right?"
It was the blacksmith, I suppose, is the closest description.
And you're
Seems like they
going
do a little bit more
to
interesting things. Oh, I'm
What?
going to watch them make the armor that I ordered.
That's all.
Well, I'm not going in there with certain intentions or expectations because seems strange.
Well, there's going in with expectation, and there's going in with a healthy amount of foreknowledge.
Oh, there's certainly hopes.
You're from the Raj.
Yes.
You're probably fine.
Yes, I was raised in the semi-precious court. I'm fine.
Yeah, you don't need it. All right. And goes forward.
I think Taz is very much just like listening to this and just shaking his head and chuckling a little bit. And then it's just gonna like side up to Kiara. Have fun. If you need help, holler. And he's gonna re-up his thing. It'll just be
All right.
4 of us since the other 2 aren't within range for it to be connected. Ooh, and that's gonna last for 8 hours. So
Nice.
if anything happens,
Nice.
I
got
will
this,
let
homie.
you know in case the building catches fire or something.
The building is usually on fire.
I know exactly. Which is like yours, like unless, well, maybe if the
If the
roof
lava
catches
goes out.
fire. Yeah.
and I think there's like a moment where Taz is like about to like, I don't know, like reach out, squeeze your hand or something, and it's just like you can see the hand about to move, and then it just Have fun.
Thanks, and you get rest, okay?
Yeah.
Like, actually sleep.
I slept last night.
Yes, one night's not enough to make up for everything you haven't been doing. So, just keep building up, chopping away at that, what do they call it? Deficit.
Okay, I'll get some sleep.
Good.
Have fun.
Well, I'll try.
Hell yeah. So then, Novel, do you split off from Matthias as he sets out on this investigative journey? Are you seeking any more information about your sword? What are you up to? Just in this period where you're left alone.
Matty talking actually, no, I imagine Matty would have talked to people outside of like their like split off and then started talking to people, but the concept of him saying that to Barden is so funny. Just like, you really think they're gonna steal it? Okay, you do. Because so I think
it's been a while since you've had an evening to yourself.
I know. I think Barden kind of, soared happy in that new knowledge that she has. You know what? She's gonna look for a library. It's been a fucking while since she's been to a library. She misses the library. But also like she's got new knowledge. She wants to look up more. This is a new place. This is a new library. She doesn't think that Siren's been here. So this could be new knowledge. At least letting him know what sort of sources of knowledge are around here. That could be interesting for him.
Fantastic. This is going to be a decently high DC because this place isn't necessarily built around a lot of libraries. So could you give me...
I also needed to send the parcel forward. So that would be along the lines of wizards anyway. So I think I could go to a wizard's shop and be like, books?
Looking for a wizard. The other group had stumbled their way onto some kind of magical place. So why don't you also give me an investigation check, Barton?
Oh no. I've got inspiration, so if I don't do good, I'm gonna... Okay. That is this 18?
18, fantastic. That does beat the DC.
Yes.
Nicely done. Okay. Barden, you split off from Matthias, just setting off in your separate ways, lost in thought, and begin to wander through the carved passageways and narrow streets of this dwarven city. In the form that you're in... Yeah.
All the
in the form that you're in, you're kind of taller than many of the buildings and some of the alleyways that you find yourself going into. There are plenty of parts of the city that are made for different folks of different sizes. But just the area that you find yourself in, you feel a bit oversized. Until you step your way down one alley, just maybe following the smell, the closest smell you think of ink, or I guess a quieter area, right?
Like dust. I feel like dust, not moving dust.
Yes.
That's a library. Nothing happens in a library.
And you find yourself on an open bridge that stretches out over a drop-off, right? A cliff that goes deeper down into the interior bowels of whatever this mountain is. And there's this glow that is emitting from beneath your feet as you look. This massive carved pillar stands across from you, connected by a bridge that is woven of metal chain, almost like a hammock, where the sides come up pretty high. So it's hard to see through the glow of these thick chains, this net-like thing that stretches across to a pillar. It is surprisingly cool on this metal bridge, but the air in here is sweltering, incredibly hot. And you can just see across, it's only maybe a 40-foot expanse. This isn't crazy massive, but that's still a decent long length, that this carved pillar goes up to the ceiling, and it is intricately detailed. beautiful figures. I would say if you're familiar with like mosaics, right? That would be more of a sky home style. You've definitely seen carvings on in Uranobara. Like that is a very stylistic choice. But the style of the carvings here are very distinct from any artistic style that you've seen. They're very blocky, they're very geometric. The figures themselves are mostly represented with kind of like square shapes, like these squarish heads, square torsos, larger square bodies. But they are detailing in this, it's almost like wrapped backwards around this pillar, this history of some kind of these figures offering worship. Again, you're like standing across the bridge, so it's hard to quite make it out. But down the center of this pillar, there is a large two-armed giant that is carved in, that the smaller figures are moving around, that the story seems to be. So not a library necessarily, but a carved history is what you find.
Ooh. Yes. Also, if you're saying it's going backwards, so right to left, would Barn know that that's Dwarvish? Is that how Dwarvish reads?
Dwarvish can be read either way, but this, I would say this like...
Oh, Giantish. Does Giantish read right to left?
Giantish. It would be Giantish, yes.
See, I know that. Oh, okay. As soon as she sees how it's going that way, she's like... genuinely gets excited. So the, also she looks at it and goes, well, that's basically a wizard tower, you know, it's tall, it's, you know, it matches, there's probably wizards there. Is the bridge itself, is it made of chains, so you have to walk on the chains, or is the chains holding the bridge?
It's made of chain.
This is like, you know, when you go to those soft play places as kids?
It's like that, yes.
Yeah.
It is thickly woven, you can't really see through it.
And is it built for like big height?
Yeah, it's like a big, multiple people could walk across it, but it kind of dips under, just barely, but like dips under the weight of one person. If you had multiple people walking across it, it would kind of spread out the more evenly.
That's so cool. I fucking love this. I'm gonna quickly look around for any signs to see, like, is there a polite way of coming this way, or is it enchanted?
Quiet. You don't see, no one is crossing the bridge currently. You found your way on a quiet moment. Your natural perception would reveal to you that this seems like a well-kept place, but maybe not super frequently visited. You don't. There's no tripwires. This doesn't seem off limits.
So, okay. Barden is very glad that they've chosen Spider Climb today.
Yeah.
They're holding on to it, so they basically begin walking and begin taking the chains one by one to keeping balance. But also, as she goes, she remembers a child game that they used to play in Uranobara when she visited as a child. And it would be one of the crevasses in Uranobara, the Great Crystal Mountains. There was this place called the Spine, which was several different like vertebrae-sized, like big tall pieces of carved crystal, basically. And in order to be a grown-up, you had to walk the spine. And so they were set out quite far away from each other. So it would be a case of you had to run, you had to be brave, you had to boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And there was always a song that they used to sing at the same time. It was like basically counting in Giantish, which takes forever. It's like Entish. It takes forever to count in Giantish. But she's doing that and she's singing it under her breath going do, 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 do. She probably looks really silly, but she's having a great time. She's just so glad she's connecting this Giantish to what she believes is Giantish across the way.
You make your way across the bridge with joy singing in your heart that memory. And here, when you step onto this surrounding rim around this center pillar, it's very wide. You can now see over the edges. There's more of a chain fence to stop anyone from accidentally falling off. That there does appear to be some kind of magma crust in this area, that with the light that's seeping through, fissuring up, and hissing. It's very, very far below you. This isn't like an active bubbling lava lake. It's more like this is an area that is exposed to a large rivulet of lava that probably heats the underside of this city, because this is far below,
Yeah.
right? So it is so warm in here compared to the side because this warmth that must run just through the ground and rock underneath the city here.
She loves the heat. She's happy. It's warm. It's good shit.
There are some things that are hanging off the pillar or from the ceiling. These two like sacks almost, and the sound of metal on stone. Seems like there are 2 or 3 people sort of around the backside of the pillar that are sitting in these chairs that have been like tapped in, holding them up, and they are carving. You can't see from below because of how they're sitting, but people are working on parts of this.
Okay, very quickly trying to do the quickest sketch that she can do just to get the idea of the actual size of this thing and just the basic shape. And then, okay.
You can take a rubbing if you want.
Oh, hello? Is that in common?
Yes, this thicker accent in common, and you look up to see a very dark-skinned dwarf with this one thick braid and shaved sides coming down, like massively woven hair, very tight. Looks down over you. You just kind of see the features. He's holding a hammer and chisel set. Visitors are welcome.
Can I ask what the story is? Hi.
It translates better in Dwarvish or Giantish.
Oh, I can read. I can do Giantish. That I can do.
One moment, and there's a like sound and a rattling of chain, and it seems like it like loosens the pulley that lowers this little seat to the ground. And this rough-looking man with similar burns to what you've seen on some of the hands of like the blacksmith or like workers that you've been talking to. Not as intensive, but like, you know, calluses, etc. He's got these braces on, these leather braces that would probably guard from like resting your hand on stone, with like this big leather padding on the hand, so his hand kind of funny. Yep, exactly. He lowers himself down. Doesn't seem like the most talkative guy. Hello, I'm Ul. And then says kind of brusquely, you do understand Giantish, so it's a bit of a slow story, but he explains to you that there is this legend of a fire giant that made their first home in this mountain before many, many years before the city was built. And then when that fire giant died here, he was transformed into the heat source of this place. Like melted or through belief, that part is not as clear, became this mountain. And then the rest of the history here tells of travelers coming here, some of the brethren of this giant also establishing a city here. There's a little bit that would intrigue you about like protecting this mountain from attacks. But again, he's not the best storyteller. He's mostly just giving you some of the facts here. And then there's like some family history as well, where some of the like, you know, carved stone figures will have like a symbol on their chest. And if you see that symbol around the pillar, that usually means that their family is still a part of here. So this is both cultural history preserved, but also literal history of like the family lineages that have lived in this area for a long time.
Sorry, my name is Barden Fever Sang. Nice to meet you. I saw that I saw the giants and my family's stone folk, so I was always interested. This is beautiful. Is this how you keep records here? I imagine the
One of-
paper might burn, so I
Yes,
can
one
understand
of
how that
many
might
ways.
be.
It is a common practice.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Genuinely beautiful. How long has this taken you? And your
I'm not-
companions?
I have only started working as a keeper 20 years or so.
Oh. So fair
But-
time.
This has existed for many
Oh.
decades.
It's living history. So you're just going to keep adding to it. Oh. She does grab at her chest. Like she's that's amazing.
And you can see there are spaces mostly on the back side that they're still like carving and filling in blank spots. It also seems like where it's connected into the ceiling, there's actually more space. Like they could carve or hew out more of the pillar. The top of it is more craggy than the bottom, where it's obviously very geometric.
Sorry, I'm in awe. This is beautiful. You wouldn't mind if I sit and draw it for a little bit, would you?
No, it's very common among people who come to visit.
Yeah, a little bit of a tourist.
I can tell.
I'm a bit too tall everywhere, really.
Well, points at the giant figure. Many tall folk from this area as well.
Oh, that makes sense. Mountain folk.
Yes.
Gosh. Imagine being that tall, though.
Not
Just-
for me.
No. I'm happy at my height.
I'm gonna
Alright,
get back.
Not to
it.
interrupt you, please keep going.
No, don't worry. You stay as long as you like.
Thank you.
It will stay
sorry.
light here all night.
Oh yes, nice and cozy.
Yes.
Love it. I was wondering if there was anywhere else that you kept records or books, or is
The guild keeps many records.
the Stonekeepers Guild?
Yes.
I imagine. Perfect. Thank you. I'll have a nose later, but I will absolutely enjoy your masterpiece here. Please pass my compliments to the others above. Doing a great job. It looks really good.
Thank you.
She definitely passes on a compliment in Giantish.
Yes.
Like, feels good.
There are
and
a few
then-
more carvers who are working. You can see higher up as you walk around and admire.
Yeah, honestly, that's going to be Barden for like a couple of hours. She's going to be drawing and then also taking rubbings, because then that can go in the letter to
Yes.
Siren and Mountain later on.
And just as it relates to magic here, you are not trained in magical studies, but there's enough of a
Well,
sense of like,
I can roll Arcane.
yeah, you
Arcana.
can give me an Arcana check.
Yes. My Arcana is pretty good. Oh, that's only... Okay, that's... Oh, okay, that's an 18. Never mind. That's pretty
Another-
good.
18, okay. They're connecting back to what's things that you might have heard about in the Tomb Loft, even though you're trained or memorized. This could be considered a place for a druidic enclave, perhaps. Like a circle of fire or something like that. There might be some natural magic that this history is depicting.
Hell yeah.
Cool. Yeah, all getting down.
Yep.
Yay.
Okay, great. So with the rest of you, and then I'm assuming Neve, Oish, and Tazra are going to wrap up at the tavern towards the evening.
Yeah, Taz is getting a new room by himself.
As you go to do that, Oish will say, "At least join us for dinner first."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The three of you are going to have a dinner together.
Mm-hmm. And Awaish does want to talk to Taz. We can do that now, or we can have Kiara's
I'm
little
gonna have
date
that happen
where-
after, I think. if
I
that's
love
all
that. Great.
right. Great. Okay. Kiara,
Yeah.
are you getting ready at all for this? Or are you just heading over after adventures?
Heading over because Mantle seemed to be into the Kiara that was there. So
Right. Okay. Kiara, you make your way back from this tavern towards the blacksmith shop that you had encountered with Matthias previously. The vibe of Icehole at night is a little bit different. More of these lanterns have come on, geometric patterns again that are cast through the lanterns that are made of metalwork. Instead of just street lamps shining, you find yourself bathed in these diamonds and carved moons and circles as you are walking through with this light. The rivulets of lava stand out stronger as well. It seems like most of the nightlife here is actually clustered around the edges of the caverns due to the light. You might even pass a particularly raucous set of like rooms almost along the side of this cavern as you make your way back following that light. Singing noises, cheers and chants, maybe a few bars that would be popular amongst some of the carvers or workers or miners here. But the sound of metal on metal greets you as you see the familiar entrance.
as Kiara is walking by, given that the telepathic bond is up, she will say, in case anyone doesn't want to sleep tonight and wants to have a good time, there are some festivities going down in the caverns. Just so that, you know, they don't have to all go to bed if they don't want to.
Yep. Okay. Perfect. Could you give me a perception check?
Okay. All right. Well, that's so perception 14.
14? Okay. You hear the sound of metal on metal as you're approaching. I would say you probably walk a little softer than most people in this area, just because you do not wear quite as heavy armor as many people. But as you approach and hear that sound, the rhythmic noise stops for a moment and then continues. This barely imperceptible pause that you take note of.
Kara knocks just out of habit, knowing full well that it's probably not going to be heard over the actual work being done. And so, like, she'll knock and then, like, let herself in. And
the
hello?
clanging and heat immediately greets you as you step inside here. The table's been pushed to the side. The merchandise that you had seen, you know, like the mugs, and the closet with all the lingerie, those things have been closed. And there is this bright light that is coming from the end of the shop here, where that rivulet streams down, because a cauldron of some kind, like a metal bucket, but like almost to the height, half the height of Mantle, has been placed against the wall. And this tap takes this thin stream of lava and is sort of circling it down into the bucket, which is emitting this very, very bright light. A furnace has is blowing and puffing. You see anvil, you see metal table, and the figure at the end of the shop, as you recognize, is Mantle, but she is now wearing a very different garb than before. Almost all of her upper body is visible, but covered in this very, very fine, thin mesh. She's got gloves on and things like that, except for the hands, which are exposed. So this like protective glove covering underneath this mesh chainmail shirt, and then from the waist down, she's got this apron tied on, but she's also wearing these like very high heat-resistant boots, and some of them, like the toes are actually smoking, right, with these drips of molten metal that have fallen onto them that she does not seem to regard. She does not pause as you come in. It seems like she's focused on hammering out this glowing piece into shape and doesn't want to pause or ruin what she's doing. But she calls over her shoulder, "Is that the princess from earlier?"
Yes, it is. As promised, I am here to watch you work.
Come closer. Not too close.
Of course. Kiara will approach from the side, not near the lava tap and bucket and steam.
Yeah. There is a seat that is set out for you next to a table.
Aw.
This is like simple stone stool.
Yeah,
and
sure.
you see on the table there are a number of pieces of armor that have already been set out or completed or modified in the shape. I'm glad you came.
Of course.
Would you like me to talk you through the technique I'm using?
Only if that would not be a distraction to you. I mean, your work comes first. I will take anything you can offer.
I like an attentive audience. So she starts talking you through what she's doing, hammering out the metal. Her voice is calming, soothing, and kind of rhythmic, almost lulling as she is doing this. The sounds soften over time as she finishes flattening out this piece, and then with her hands, she picks it up. You can almost hear this like sizzle, and then she plunges it into a bucket of water, and steam hisses up around her and around you, like filling the room, and then steps over to you with this still like glowing piece of flattened metal, and then bends it over another waiting anvil, like with her hands.
Wow.
Into this curved shape.
How can you do that with your bare hands?
It's taken years of practice.
And I mean, I can resist much more heat than others because of who I am. Is it something similar for you?
Not quite. Both a trained skill and one that my family is born with.
Wow. It's very impressive.
I have very high pain tolerance as well.
Well, I don't, so that is very impressive to me too.
I'll make sure not to splash.
But it's okay if you do. I can heal.
You must be very valuable as a traveling companion, then.
Well, I try to be. I'm not very good at fighting or any of the other things, so patching up is what I'm best at, I think. Making sure they're all okay.
You must have some level of skill to have come to the wastelands.
I've learned a lot along the way, but it's because
I was going to
big
say you don't
features.
seem stupid enough to be here without the knowledge to protect yourself.
No, or well, at least in for me, the ability to surround myself with people with the knowledge to help me.
Seems to think about that for a second, and then turns away from you and is continuing her work. The armor that she is making is of a different style than you would see back in where you're from, the Raj. The plates, the dexterity that she uses to bend them into shape. This is one person who is capable of making an entire set of armor, right? And you might see, again, back where you're from, that you would have a leathersmith, you would have a blacksmith, you would have, you know, a tanner, you would have perhaps a carver or an enchanter. Obviously, she doesn't directly enchant this metal. She does work with someone else for
Yeah.
fancier magic armor, but she is talented in almost every discipline of this craft.
Yeah.
Which is quite impressive. Does Mantle remind you of anyone as she is doing this work?
Well, Kiara does immediately pick up that Mantle is doing what she has seen many other people do, because of course, the palace has its own set of armors who are out there. I imagine with the knights and the forces, like they're running through armor in and out, so it makes sense to just have like a full-time armory and shop. And so of course Kiara being a very bored and curious kid in the palace has explored it from top to bottom. And so yes, she's of course gone and watched people work, but never this close. I assume that if she ever walked into one of those, it was all like, "Oh, princess, please stay over there as far as you can from any heat source." And so it does. I think the clanging does remind Kiara of home, because I'm sure certain parts of the grounds just sound like that often. And it's one of those like, oh, I just got a sudden memory of like weekday mornings going for a walk around the grounds, having my tea and listening to these sounds. It's like that background sound that you don't even know you miss. So I think it is very, very comforting, but also impressive at the same time, because this is being done at a much higher skill for an individual, whether it's out of necessity or just because Mantle is that talented. And so Kiara will ask, in my limited experience, what you're doing, I have seen been done by 4 or 5 people working together. Do you ever work with others, or is that not something you enjoy?
Occasionally. I have a mage I work with for particular enchantments. And I've worked with partners previously in design and concepting, not physical labor. There's a sense to this city that individual merit in craftsmanship is highly regarded. The guild that I'm a part of encourages a certain level of expertise for higher membership. Of course, any worker is welcome to join here, but access to certain political decisions or certain resources comes after you've proven yourself with the creation of a particular item.
Wow. That, I don't think I've heard of that before, honestly. Access to chambers where I come from is sometimes a question of merit, but often a question of birthright. Are you from this area originally, or did you come here for the offers?
Not from this city. Not directly.
But I can see why you choose to be here if they value you in a way no one else would.
Also this shop. And I wouldn't say no one else. I've had plenty of people who value me.
You are extraordinarily talented. I'm sure that is the case, but it's lovely to hear that your immense talent can actually help you in multiple areas of life instead of just work.
Yes. Crafting is most of my life. I love how the metal sings. She finishes this section that she's working on and sets down the tools. The glowing pieces are set aside. I'm going to do a bit more detail work. Now, do you think I could get a few measurements first?
Stand up.
She has you stand up, and the calluses on the fingers are a bit rough as she like lifts your arm a little bit so she can get her arms around you with a piece of marked string to measure, shoulder size, bust size, waist size. You find that she is inches away from you as she is doing this, keeping space between your two bodies so she can see where she's marking, but it seems like she has done this countless times.
I think so is Kiara. Like, Kiara comes from a place where, I don't know if this is a time where this is normal to have, like, off-the-rack clothing is not really that common. Getting cloth, getting a tailor or a seamstress to make your clothes is very normal.
Yes.
And so having measurements taken is very routine.
Happens frequently.
Yeah, so I think for Kiara, this is also like, it is more intimate only because of who the person is, but the task itself is not necessarily something that would it doesn't make Kiara uncomfortable, or like, that is not the exciting part. Getting her measurements taken, like, that's very normal.
Yeah. Once she's finished, she steps back, takes a bit of charcoal and just marks some things down, actually like on the armor almost, where she would want to like adjust something, and then takes it back over, reheats it by this lava, and then bends and stretches to make sure that things would suit you appropriately. Now again, normally making this kind of armor would take a longer period of time. She's using some pre-fit materials or pre-made materials, so she make plate mail in one evening, obviously.
Yeah.
That would be very difficult. And plate mail not, but I think you're wearing chainmail, right?
I don't remember. I think because Kiara is only light and medium armor proficiency.
Yes. So it would be medium armor that she's making the chain.
Yeah.
So she is also taking some of she has basically rolls of chain that she's constructed that she's like cutting and shaping together. It is maybe 2 hours, and she's not really reached out to initiate or touch you in a way besides these measurements. She seems pretty focused on her job, actually. Like, obviously asked you here because she is enjoying the attention, but not to the point that it's distracting her from her work.
Yeah. And Kiara expected that, and which is why like Kiara would not bring up plans for after until the work was done. Like, she was invited to come watch Mantle work, not take Mantle away from Mantle's work.
Yeah. And she's actually like not less flirtatious, but almost has less time for it than she actually did when you were visiting the shop earlier.
Which is fine, yeah, because she wasn't, hands in flame at that time.
Yeah. But it seems like it's wrapping up.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be completely finished and polished by this evening. She'll probably do some of that tomorrow, and things are a little bit cooler, making sure that you have the tools that you need to take care of it as well. And she's talking to you about that. Like, you'll want to keep this oiled in the joints so it doesn't stiffen up. Make sure that you clean it, especially after battle. My metal is always treated for extreme temperatures due to being in Valkyrie, but you still want to take particular care with the coating. Don't scratch at it with other metal that will remove some of the protective sheen that's on it, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, and then Kiara will also want to make sure that, given that it's forged in fire, it should be okay, but Kiara would explain that, there are times where immense heat emanates from her own body, and to make sure that the non-metal pieces, like the leather straps holding it together, are coated for heat as well as like extreme heat as well as extreme cold. Because you don't want your leather burning away.
No.
Like straps burning away. In a hellish rebuke. God, how awful would that be?
Once she has finished the majority of her work, she steps away, panting lightly with exertion. You see the arms, the broad shoulders, right? Heaving a little bit. And in this heat, I think both of you would have worked up, even with the heat resistance, a little bit of just a sweat. You have to occasionally like rest your eyes from looking at this glowing lava. And when you turn to face another direction, you can see this glow in your pupils just from staring for so long. So she steps away. She sets all of her tools down. She's standing maybe 4 or 5 feet away from you towards the end of this shop. And then she closes this tap, and the bucket's glow reduces as the lava starts to cool. Kiara, you and your group are traveling out of this city?
Yes. We have much further to go.
Do you think you would be returning at any point?
I hope so. The city means a lot to at least one of the groups, so we have reasons.
I like to be pretty clear about my expectations.
Yes.
There is a difference for me from one chance encounter with a beautiful lady, and 2 or 3.
I don't not have plans to come back, but I also don't know whether... Nothing is certain. I don't know. I'm going into a very dangerous place, as I am told over and over again, so...
Yes.
I cannot promise.
I'm very well aware of that. That's why I like to anticipate in advance if I will see someone again.
Well, I would like very much if that were the case.
Noted. She steps over to you, and despite the fact that you are similar in height, she's a little shorter than you.
Kiara's 5'7" now. She grew an inch.
Yeah. So not maybe a bit shorter than you. She is much broader as she steps over to where you are seated on this stool. So looking down at you just a little bit, right? As she stepped over, still wearing this soot-covered chainmail now that is very warm. Oil all over the hands. Reaches for your face. And takes it very certainly in her hand. You can feel just a bit of this dust.
We've got prestidigitation for later. It's fine.
Yeah. And then leans down to kiss you.
Kisses her back.
Her lips are a little bit chapped, but she is very certain about what she wants.
Okay. Kiara's happy to play along. Let's go.
Okay. There is a warm purr that rises in your ears as the two of you are kissing. After a while, Mantle sinks down to her knees and looks up at you greedily.
Sorry, Slow face is facing in the corner there.
Is this all right with you?
Yes.
The two... She is very adept. The two of you enjoy some time together. I'm gonna fade to black on that.
Yes, of course. We've got two very skilled people, it seems, having a good time.
Yes.
Skillfully.
Skillfully. Very good. Okay, with that scene faded to black there, I think I'm gonna take 5 here, if that's okay, so we can do a
You gotta
bio
go smoke a
break.
cigarette. We get it. We get it, bud.
Fuck off.
All right, we're gonna go take a break. We'll be right back for fucking. Bye.
Bye.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome back to Strange Hungers. It is nearly evening, a little bit earlier than you all would typically go to bed since you're still recovering from a slightly off schedule, around 9 or 10 p.m. or so. Awaish and Tazriel and Neve are having dinner together. Do you eat nearby the inn, or are you just getting typical tavern food?
I think Awish would be happy to stay, and that we went and got hot pot last night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, that was exciting enough. Want to stay
Such a dad.
in the tavern. Listen, we're in an unfamiliar place. Yeah, I think they eat in like relative quiet for a little bit. And Awaish is kind of like glancing over at Tazriel every once in a while, but like it's impossible to tell like why or what they are thinking as they do it. You can't tell if they're like judging you or concerned for you or interested. It could be any of them.
Oh, I don't think Taz is picking up on any of it.
I love that.
Unless a convo is happening, he's like eating his food.
No. Yeah, and Awaish
he's
isn't like trying to make you say something. Like they are literally just looking at you.
He's eating and focusing on the like, I know where you are in the back of his head. Like it's just.
Yeah, just focusing on that. And then, so I think like maybe halfway through our meal, then that like razor focus for you would be broken by Awish saying, well, you're about 20% safer if you were ever to visit the atolls.
I think, like, again, has been focusing so hard that he hears that and thinks he missed a part of the conversation and is trying to, like... I don't understand your meaning.
Your piercings.
Oh. Well, it's good to know it has some use other than just the aesthetic.
It looks cool.
Thanks, Neve. And it has a very like not to say that any of his smiles he's given anybody recently have been like has been not genuine, but like has a very genuine and warm and like joyful like smile for Neve.
Yeah. Wish catalogs that. But says, well, it really does depend on how heavy you're willing to get. And they reach up to an ear and like remove a piece with a little bit of a wince and hold it out to you.
You'll take it.
And when you take it in your hand, it is cold and unexpectedly heavy in your hand.
Why is this so heavy?
Well, you know. Being up in the sky, you might fly away.
Oh. No, that makes sense.
Does it?
It does.
I could be making fun of you.
Are you making... I didn't think so. And I think there's like a you know, his little like, I'm gonna flirt with you grin, but his heart's not in it. It's just clearly just performative.
Mm-hmm.
He'll hand it back.
You don't seem well.
I'm sure Kiara would say it's because I am catching up on some sleep I've been missing.
Yes, I'm sure Kiara would say that.
You want to ask me something specific, Elise?
What's going on?
That is such a specific question. I made a deal. It cost me something. I'm dealing with it.
You made a deal?
I made a deal.
Why?
Why does anybody make deals like that? Love.
Oh, is this for that dream person?
Oh, they weren't always just a dream.
Do you think you can actually deal with it?
It's not the end of the world, and it's just something to get used to.
I don't mean what happened to you. I don't know if you noticed, but something happened to me too. I mean, can you actually use what you got?
Oh. And I also think, like, when you say something happened to you, like, you can clearly see on his face, like, obviously he noticed that, but he wasn't going to bring it up if you didn't want to talk about it. Yes, I think so. I'm sure there'll be more to give at the end of this.
Can you give it?
If I can, I'll take it from somewhere.
How acquainted are you with the concept of sacrifice? Is this your first time?
In this manner, yes. Although I would say, for knights like myself, there are parts of us that we sacrifice to do our jobs well. But it's not as tangible as this.
Are you... That's real.
Elish?
I'm trying to understand you. And I'm not sure I do. When I first met you, I thought of you as quite an impulsive and emotional and tactile person. If it came down to it, this thing that you're going after, if getting it meant that you wouldn't be around to reap the rewards, are you ready?
I have begged, prayed to whatever is out there to take me instead on a number of occasions, if it meant just a sliver of a chance of them coming back. So I think whatever the cost, even if it's that, I'm ready to pay it.
So you would destroy yourself and every connection that you had made for this one thing? Because I've done something similar before and it did not pay out as well as I thought.
If it came to it, yes.
Just be careful.
I think he just kind of gives you like a steady gaze at that and a slight nod.
Did you want more lessons?
Yes.
All right then. Wish kind of turns back to their food.
And Taz to his, and again, feeling the giantess in his head.
Neve is looking side to side. Just trying very hard to keep quiet during all of that, and then also continues.
Amazing.
Okay. Matthias, are you doing an armor heist?
Am I
I
what?
need to know. Are you doing an armor heist? I need to know.
Am I doing an armor heist? Oh shit! Oh yeah! I'm like interested. I want to know. I do,
Stakeout. That's what he's doing. Stakeout.
I do kind of want to like do a stakeout, but if we're traveling, there's only so much I can do without like gaining exhaustion. So I don't want to go to the level where I am gaining exhaustion because like we're almost at my spot and I really want to go. So I do want to just like, maybe he'll find a place to like hunker down. He's gonna try and look casual.
Okay, so you wanna scope out like a shop that you think would be a good, like a primary target
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Okay. You're gonna give it like a half-hearted stakeout, but not stay up the whole night.
Hey, it will not be half-hearted. Just because he's taking
Full-hearted half night.
yeah, full-hearted, but
Half-ass.
I am guarding my sleep time because I need to be on.
Half ass.
Full
Okay,
heart.
Matthias,
Full ass.
give me a stealth check. And are you wearing your armor or not?
Can I have my new armor?
No, you get it tomorrow.
Oh fuck. Okay. Then here's what he'll do. Can he like dress it down so he's wearing like stealth armor? Like he has the chest plate on and then he puts a shirt on.
And
And,
it
like,
will look
like he's-
stupid.
No, well,
Like a
so
really bad binder.
can he do like keep the like arm pieces, keep like knee pieces,
So you've held on to
some
I think
tactical
a size down armor set. I remember that correctly. Not a size down, but a step down. Like you have medium armor, not just heavy armor
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
So you can wear medium armor,
Okay.
and that won't impose disadvantage on stealth.
Picturing the plate under his fuzzy sweater. Feel like nothing to look at here, guys.
And he's gonna like just real chill. Maybe he'll leave his huge ass greatsword at home, but he'll bring the whip and he'll bring his net and,
Okay.
and his dagger. And he'll go get a coffee at a cafe across the street.
A late night coffee.
Just like sitting in a window, just
There's across the street from the blacksmiths. There are not coffee shops. There are those late night like worker like guild bars, so you could get a beer.
Ooh, okay, yeah. And I tell you what, I know I'm making a big joke out of this right now because I can't fucking take anything seriously, but Matthias is taking this very seriously. So he is going to cast Pass Without Trace on himself.
Great.
And just like try to blend in with the crowd. He's genuinely gonna give it a try.
Okay, so give me that stealth check. Remember to add +10. It should be just flat, not a disadvantage.
Okay, +10. It's a 22.
Okay. You blend in effortlessly. You order your drink. No one seems to pay you any mind. You speak enough of the way that people speak here that even if you're encountered casually, you would just like not stand out as a tourist.
Nods and grunts. Nods and grunts.
Nods and grunts.
You're so hidden, your waitress can't find you with the drink.
Yep.
No, I wave my waitress down.
That's all I can think of.
wait.
Just
They
like
see
so
me. We have a
hidden.
connection.
Yeah. You get yourself a warm drink, and then kind of slide yourself between two of the blacksmiths, you know, because they're these like, they're carved out. They're not really houses, right? They're just like open rooms that are set out of stone with like, some of them have curtains, some of them don't. But they're between two of them, there is actually one spot that it's not really an alley, but it's like they've put some storage stuff in where there's like a crack in the stone that you can fit yourself into next to some like boxes, chests that have been slid in here. It's mostly metal scraps. There's some like trash that has been put in here, like they haven't taken the trash out yet, you know.
Yeah, sure, I'll crawl in with the
shaving.
trash.
You crawl into
Trash man. I'm the trash man.
and the shadows of the stone fall over you and cloak you.
So cloaked. I'm keeping my eyes out. I'm keeping my eyes out. I'm keeping my ears out. I'm keeping my fucking
You are used
dick
to
out.
standing for hours on end without making a sound. So, although it's tiring, you can do it easily. Like, you're not gonna cramp up and call out or something, you know, that'll get you killed in the wastes. So you stand there for hours. The furnaces next to you all extinguish. It gets a little bit colder, not that much colder, but you can tell that people are no longer working in these shops. There's not really a gate that comes down, you know, like no, the doors are locked here. The workers just leave. A few doors down, Kiara's having a great time. But you can't hear that. A few people pass by that you keep an eye on. Most obviously, this area is frequented by people who are looking to commission something or buy something, tourists, or just, you know, traveling knights, guards, scavengers, hunters who need extra protection, assassins, what have you. The people who need armor in the wastes, which is brigadiers and bandits. So it is unusual that someone with enough armor that they seem protected, right? Like they wouldn't need to buy a new piece because the armor looks like it's from here. It's unusual that someone like that would come and stop by a shop after hours if they're not working. You know, could be like an inspector or just a guy, but it makes sense that they would have a reason to be here after hours if they're not like a worker. So you note that there is a tiefling who has walked by 2 times up and down the rows wearing decently nice armor in the particular style of Icehole, like that geometric carving pattern, without stopping in any of the shops or talking to anyone.
Interesting. Very interesting. Can I follow this person?
Yeah. The next time that he walks by, you step out silently from behind and begin to trail him.
And just for the record, I am going to recast Pass Without Trace whenever I need to before it wears off. Because there is
You
a
still
verbal
have Pass Without
component,
Trace.
and I need the extra coverage.
You cast it in the trash alley, and then you
Trash
step
crack.
out. The trash crack. And then you step out to pursue. This tiefling is more unassuming. I would say his skin tone is actually kind of similar to your own, where he's kind of pale, but not unnaturally so. Like not albino, but just a white guy who's a tiefling. Has like pretty small horns, and a very traditional like curved tail with a hooked point that comes out from underneath his armor. Not anywhere near as big as you. Maybe 5'7", you know, kind of Kiara's height. Obviously muscular enough to be wearing like heavy armor and be trained in it, but mostly giving the vibe of a traveler, except for his armor.
Oh, interesting.
As you follow him through the streets, he loops around at one point to, like, not lose you. It doesn't seem to be aware of you, but just like, if he was just walking somewhere, it would be unusual if he would like do the 3 lefts and then walk back down another street that he just came from. So you follow him back down. It seems like he's looping up and down the blacksmith's alley.
My man is being so suspicious. And he doesn't go anywhere. He's just
looping.
looping. Is there a central place where I could just like, you know, shimmy up onto a rooftop and like look down, get a good view?
It's difficult in a cavern to shimmy onto a rooftop. You could climb a wall, but you'd be climbing, like, you'd have to watch out for the lava that, like, the carved lava streams. You could climb up a wall to get on top of something.
Fuck. I really don't. I'm just gonna keep following this guy.
All right. You follow him for another, like, 15 minutes, right? It becomes pretty obvious to you this pattern he's doing, but he doesn't seem to be changing it up. He hasn't made any suspicious moves, maybe is waiting for something, but is strolling pretty casually. Can you give me an insight or intelligence check?
I would love to do that. Oh god, fuck, oh god! Sorry, I dropped my die.
That was very dramatic.
Ooh, 17.
17. You slowly start to realize that you think he is doing what you are doing.
Is he following me?
He's the night guard, and you are tracking the night guard.
Love this so much. Did you tell anyone else you were doing this?
No.
I think that might be good for you. I think that's good.
Good job, Matthias.
He just like
after a while, you think he's probably not gonna steal something.
no,
and then...
as soon as he like connects the two thoughts together, he like pulls to a hard stop and just goes like fuck, and turns around and walks back to the fucking hotel.
Doing.
All I'm imagining is because you've left some of that armor. It's just like, I left my boy running back to the armor piece.
Great, cool. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to sleep.
But if you see his face on a wanted poster tomorrow, like
All
you saw
right,
and no one
don't
else did.
fucking condescend to me.
No. Suffice it to say that maybe tonight is not the night that someone is striking, but the town is also looking out for these thieves.
That's hilarious. Thank you so much, Alex.
You're welcome.
That was the perfect
Love you.
Clouseau end.
You solved a mystery.
I
and the
solved
mystery
a
was
mystery for sure.
I connected the dots. You connected
who is
nothing.
guarding the shops at night. Is the mystery that you solved.
I'm in hell.
And it's a guy.
Okay. All right. Well,
Great. But for all you know, I'll tell you this, Matthias. You probably prevented a theft from happening tonight.
wow.
If no one, I don't think anyone saw you. Like there were 2 guards on watch tonight. Safe another day.
Hell yeah.
Sometimes that's all you can do. It's a thankless job. Being a knight.
Cool.
All right, I'll stop making fun of you now.
I love it. Thanks, Alex.
But you know what, Matthias? You get 50 XP.
Hell yeah! 50 XP. I get an identity point for being fucking so stupid.
You don't get an identity point.
We need
Damn
to
it!
get good identity.
50 XP in a milestone leveling game. baby.
Yay!
Yay!
I
You
got into
completed the
community
quest.
college, everybody. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw!
After you've completed your nightly activities, making your way back to the rooms that you have, individual room, collective. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this long rest here because I want to push us through to the next day, but you are once again resting in an inn. If you spent any spell slots, you can get those back.
Hell yeah.
And I spend a night, not like the full night, but I give Tazriel another going over on trancing.
Hell yeah. It is slow going and slow work, especially when you're tired,
You're bad at
but
this.
you're just trying to learn the motions of something that's not intrinsic to you.
It's also like when you've been taught something when you were a kid, and you're like, I don't know, just do it.
Just sit
But
there.
they're a pretty good teacher.
The image of Matthias standing in an alley perfectly still for 2
Jesus.
hours, and then Tazriel trying so hard to just sit cross-legged
Meditate.
for 2 hours.
ADHD versus autism?
Matthias would kill at trancing.
Here's the thing. I think he's fine at sitting still because he is focused on the movements, but I don't think that helps him learn how to trance because he's
Yeah.
not paying attention.
Yeah,
Oh, so good.
very good. Okay, so then you can rest. If you need to remark any hit dice, etc., you gain back hit dice. And then morning comes.
Novel
Yes.
sleeps alone. Rude.
Aw.
In a double room. In a twin room. Novel sleeps alone.
Damn.
Yeah, he comes back. All of Taz's stuff is gone.
Your sword has a bed to herself.
Oh, that's cute.
You're like Mimi.
No,
is where you're laying.
she pushes them together. She's like, fuck it, I'm having a double. It's been a
Okay,
while.
honestly, the image of a changeling who can use both beds and you can just stretch yourself out, literally.
Yeah.
Also, Novel's so small because they're 5 foot, so it's just like, yes. Perfect.
Little bug
I
in
love
bed.
it.
A little
This is so
starfish in the
good.
middle of the bed.
Mhm. Oh, unless there's got to be like they've put like wedges under the door to make sure no one fucking comes in.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So then the next morning here, you want to leave a little bit of time to make sure that the completed, so you're probably going to be setting off from Icehole at around noon or so, which also allows you to finally kind of catch up on that extra amount of sleep. Like, this is a 14-hour sleep day.
Oh, hell
Yeah.
yes.
I imagine at some point Kiara comes back, and I think Kiara and Matthias sharing a room.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what we had said. Because
Yeah.
Kiara will come back and like very early in morning when Manta has to get back to work and come back and just keep sleeping.
That's so good.
You gotta
Alex-
get those 4 hours.
Hey, listen. Is the moon unfucked yet?
I don't think so.
The moons are still...
Moon's haunted. Moon's haunted.
Moon's haunted.
It's still fucking haunted. Weird ass moons.
I
And I
hate
think you have
that.
the most accurate calendar, to
Ah.
be honest.
How
Is,
rude.
At the
Offended.
top of the day, the weather is cold. The moons are fucked. And
Damn.
The humidity
So
is
is
not
Kiara.
present.
So true.
All right,
Yeah,
let's
it-
fucking pack our shit up.
Let's get
Hey.
out of here.
you pack your shit up. You do it. You get your animals. You pay your bill,
Aminos.
whatever it was. You
Taz
maybe
pays for his single room.
you pay an extra silver. You tip the waitresses, etc.,
course.
etc. I'm
We get
making bold assumptions.
Yes. You're correct.
The daily activities of an adventuring party can seem tedious, but there is an excitement and an energy to them today. The morning stretches, the cleaning of armor, the, airing out or cleaning of clothing that you would do here because this is a city with enough. There's not like a laundromat, right? But they've got really hot water. So your clothes all get cleaned, which is really nice to have in a sweaty wasteland, sweating through your equipment. So, also as you are setting off, the innkeeper or maybe one of his assistants gives you all a little gift as you're leaving. When you check out from the inn, you get a little novelty piece of metal it's like a little novelty coin that's stamped with the inn's logo.
Cute.
Can we collect
it's like
these?
a business card. Yeah, you can collect these.
Hell
Wait,
yeah!
does
Yes.
Matty have other ones? Does Matty have other ones?
Oh
Maddie,
yeah.
do you hold on to it's like the hotel business card.
Yeah,
that
for
you've just
sure.
been
They're like
given.
little challenge coins. If you go up
cute.
to somebody at the inn and you present the challenge coin from the inn and they have it, if they got one and they don't present it back, they have to buy you a drink.
I love this.
Definitely. If you stayed there before. So you check out, pay your bill, etc. Your animals have been well kept. They smell a little bit, unfortunately, like animals. This is not a husbandry or animal upkeep town for the most part, but they've been taken care of.
Nice.
And then
Oh,
you
yeah.
pass back by that one shop to collect your armor. Mantle is very excited. And this is the first time the whole group of you have gone, not just a few of you. So I would say, like, you get everything set up, you go to collect the armor with your cart to make it easier to load that on, because that shit's heavy. If you're not going to wear it, which you might or might not when you're traveling. Weight armor is hard to travel in.
Yeah, but if you think that Matthias is not rolling up to the order
So excited.
in his fancy, sparkly new armor, you got another thing coming. He wants to stunt on these
It's
hoes.
bespoke.
Like,
How many people get bespoke armor?
Gotta wear it in.
he is showing it
Oh,
off.
there.
He wants to like roll up with a little bit of like frosty on his rusty. He's just trying to get a little bit of glitter.
Oh, Matthias.
He
my God.
and in his head, he's just like, I just want to put it. He's like, I just want to put it on. I want to change out of my armor. That's it. But like secretly, there's like that little voice in the back of his head that's like,
Can
I
I,
wanna look
can I
cool
roll
for my buds.
insight on Matthias to see if Kiara picks this up?
he wants to look cool for his buds. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, give me insight.
Fuck,
all
I
right,
keep
that's
grabbing
an
my
18.
d20s. Yeah, you can see there's like a little bit of light in his eyes. That's like,
All right.
there's something underneath it. I think for him, it expresses as him just wanting to like look cool for his peers. Like,
Well, that's okay. Kiara now just has plans as we roll in to, like, I don't know, prestidigitate some cool shit on your armor when we walk in. It'll just have like a little bit of a glow.
Give him a rim light.
Yeah, he's got like a little bit of I mean, Kiara, if you're paying attention to how he looks, first of all, everybody notices that there's like a pep in his step today. Just the closer they get, the more loose he seems, more like energetic.
Unclenched.
He has now sort of re-clenched a little bit, but in a different way. There's definitely the nervous energy of somebody who, like, it's similar to when you are all meeting the Fulcrum Expedition, but there's something a little bit more. It's like a different sort of flavor, but the same sort of like profile. He's got that like, I need to impress these people. I want to impress these people. Good impressions. So he is going to change into his armor.
Is it fair to say that all of you have taken the time to look a little nicer for your to the order?
Yeah.
Yes, if we'll follow Matthias's lead. If he is like actually combing his like cowlicks down, like, okay, we get the point.
He's like, Weish has done all the braids and also has put a bunch of braids in Neve's hair. Like, has done Neve's hair very nicely.
Aww.
That's so cute.
Because they woke up today feeling a little better, so they're gonna take advantage.
I think like when y'all start coming like down the stairs and it's clear you've put like effort into your appearance, Matthias like he feels like there's a very warm look on his face. He just seems so like pleased, and he would never say anything, but like he loves it. He loves it.
I gotta look up.
Arden definitely has all the embroidered, the good embroidered shirt that Soren's done. Like, it's all turned out. All the leather has been oiled. All the good stuff.
I think Taz has his standard uniform stuff, but then he has not like the fancy one when you present yourself to like the emperor or some shit, but like the thing in the middle that he's now wearing. He's like done a couple of retwists, oiled them up. Smells like cinnamon and like other very nice spices from the from Abjure.
Kiara basically has over time has been leaning out of princess mode. We're back in it.
Hell yes.
You don't have quite as much jewelry anymore, but you've got the attire.
All of the accessories that she does have are on. Everything is clean. Also, she's not dimming that glow.
Ooh!
Yeah. And there's an extra inch, which is on display. And Neve looks lovely as also she's got her new coat on. She is obviously. I think she has like a little makeup palette with her that she's held on to across the like stowaway months this whole time, that she's saving like the caked out corners that she scrapes up just so she can put on a little bit of like
like a little nub of an eyebrow pencil. It's like that, and she's been like shaving it.
When Matthias,
a little bit of that.
When we're like ready to go and everybody comes down and regroups, Matthias is in his new armor, and it is like,
what's he look like?
He looks like a mech almost, with how like robust this armor is. Like, it almost looks like he's piloting like a big ass like bodysuit or some shit like that. But it like moves so silently and so gracefully. It is black, like a dark mirror, and so shiny and flawless. Like, his older armor had all those scars and discolorations and things like that from previous fights that he'd been in. This one is obviously like brand new. He actually kind of like radiates a scent of like oil and maybe like a little bit of like heat and fire and smoke. Just from like the leftovers from the process. It is fresh. And like beautiful. There's like beautiful soft leather work, like very sturdy. And the delicate like silver colored designs around all of the like major joints on this armor. And they're sort of like a mixture between like flowy Art Nouveau and like angular in a way that really brings up like ideas of like ice fractals and like frost sort of growing across like a glass, you know, those big feathers that kind of like grow over surfaces when it gets really cold outside. And he is also like, he's like cleaned his scarf, he's cleaned his hood. He's got it like pushed back. He has like pushed his hair back. He's shaved. He's like ready. He looks spick and span. And he is standing like to his full height. You can tell like he feels really, really feels fucking good. And there's
can he hunch in that arm?
Matthias.
It's a question.
I don't think so. I don't think so. He just there's like he has this kind of bashful look on his face that's like clearly he feels really good about it, and he's kind of embarrassed about the fact that he does feel like kind of hot.
Arden does like a turnaround gesture, like
Kiara wolf whistles. Are you kidding me?
us, come on.
He like turns
teamwork.
He turns so red and will turn around in a small circle.
Ooh,
How is
Matthias.
That's so quiet.
Wait. You even smell hot.
It's incredibly well made. It's amazing. It's so quiet. I've never had armor that's this quiet ever.
You feel good. You look good.
Yeah, you look really good, Matthias.
Thank you. Yeah. Do you or do you not feel bonita?
I do have to ask Matthias before we go. Is there an ex we're trying to impress here? Like what? Just you know, this is revenge look almost.
What do you? No.
That doesn't sound like a solid no.
Like
Clearly, Matthias is doing this to show off for all of us.
oh. Well, do another turn.
I want.
Do it.
No.
Okay, I will. And then Kiara goes around Matthias.
Bottom followers. We're
have-
teasing the hell out of this man.
We have to go. We have to go.
You first.
Fine.
All of us just line up and watch Matthias walk away.
God, it's awesome. It's so good. I was looking at like Pinterest armor shit today. It's cool stuff.
Yeah.
So
Should make
happy.
a collage. I want to see.
This is like when you buy a house for the first time and all of your friends who rent go, you have a house? Are you gonna paint it?
Hey, what do I get for AC for this bad boy?
So you are wearing plate mail, which sets your armor to 18.
Oof.
If you use a shield, you can still gain the benefit of that. So that would be 20 if you're using a shield. It does not add your like dexterity or to it anything, but you don't have the disadvantage on stealth because you paid for the fancy thing. So it is basically you have got the best armor that exists on the board. It's not a +1 plate mail or whatever, which that starts scaling into like 10,000 gold. Kind of shit. But
I'll get somebody to put paint on it and I'll give it a super
If we kill someone who has +1 plate mail, then that's like free.
Yeah, that's basically free. All I had to do was
It
give
is
up a little
really
bit of my
hard.
humanity.
Exactly.
really hard to kill someone with +1 plate mail because their armor is usually 21 plus.
You poison them, that's what you do.
How do you jump from 18 to 21?
Can't shield from poison.
Well, making the assumption that +1 plate mail would be 19, plus a shield is at least 21. If you
Oh.
want
Well, people who are wearing that plate mail usually also have great swords, so they don't usually have shields. So, please.
I'm gonna
Not mean anything to a rogue.
I'm gonna
Somebody from Matthias.
one hand wield this greatsword beach.
Well, while we're talking about armor, what is Kiara's new armor? Just so I can add it to her inventory too and get her armor out of
believe-
12.
I believe that you would have gotten either scale mail or breastplate. I'm
it's scale
thinking
mail.
scale mail.
Yeah,
So that would
'cause it
be-
was shimmy.
Yeah.
I can't
So-
imagine a breastplate being shimmy.
No. So your scale mail would set your AC to 14 plus your dexterity modifier.
15.
15. It does give you disadvantage on stealth now.
We trade these.
But that is a huge jump. You feel
Yeah.
a lot more protected
Yeah.
than previously.
Oh, look at
Okay.
that with the shield, armor class 17. Nice.
That is
From 14.
real good.
Yeah.
You
I'm
are
16
and
without.
Kiara, this
anything.
is that's also pretty good for a barbarian because you're using unarmored defense.
no
I think,
armor. Yeah.
Yeah. which means you don't have any of to deal
Sorry.
with
interruption.
that AC. No, you're good. Kiara, this is like war cleric vibes back in the Empire.
Ooh,
Someone
hot.
who is wearing scale mail plus a shield, like that would be a cleric on the front line.
Oh.
Pretty exciting.
I think that brings my
Are you-
AC to 19 because allegedly I have a +1 magic bonus. I have
you
to
might have
double-check that.
something.
I'm gonna look through my
from
paladin
your-
shit and see if that does
Check
anything.
your paladin stuff.
It's a
I think you
bone
might
us.
be a bone thing.
Thank you.
level 10 pally.
Yeah. Oh, it might be one of your paladin choices. I think that there is a fighter style that does that potentially.
I'm gonna look
style.
through. I'm just gonna make sure that I have this legally.
Cool.
Legally.
Legally.
Also,
The
as they travel, sorry,
go ahead.
Barden is showing Oesh all the sketches of the tower, of the history tower, just like all of the rubbings, all of the art. Like it's just like, sorry if I show you while we walk. It was really amazing. I thought you'd appreciate it. I can also translate the jointish if you have trouble with that.
All right.
Just walking next to them and just okay. And then this bit was, oh, and you should have seen how tall it was. It was amazing. And just going on.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, have a little nerd out.
Anything I should check on that, Alex? Or
I
Ooh.
don't think so. If Novel's telling you the stories that we're told,
I
then
did
you
take
just pick
rubbings
up.
though, so they could have been.
Yeah. The art style is also very, very different from anything Atolian.
Mhm.
Atolian, you would not see a lot of carved history at all. That is not
Too
the
heavy.
style. Lots
No, we're
Lots of
very
paper.
we're a very paper and oratory culture. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. On the seas, especially, maybe not even paper, like maybe just oratory stuff.
Yeah.
Stories told from ship to ship. It's a big myth culture over
Mhm.
there. Okay, you set off. The journey from Atoll to the Order of Black Ice can be done in a day.
Woo!
Less than a day, depending on if there's a big storm or something. Maybe you wouldn't want to make the trek, but it's cold, but it's not snowing. There is enough light coming down, off of the snow, that you'd still want to protect your eyes or wear something as you are traveling. Your little goggles. I mean, your helm as well now. You've got this black helm that's very imposing.
Hell yeah.
You
Mecha
look
Man.
like the Black Knight. It's kind of intimidating if you can't see Matthias's face with the whole getup. It is like
His face is
wearing-
doing this.
And it's because it's red. Because he's like,
It is like wearing new boots, it's just sitting in different spots. Obviously, it's made to your measurements, and you've got all the stuff underneath the padding that you would wear, so it's not affecting your joints, but it takes some getting used to. You're going to have a bit of wear and tear from traveling today. Maybe you see the goats straining a little bit more as you are.
Oh, I would walk or summon beast. I don't want to fuck them up,
yeah.
Oh yeah, you've got your steed. You're not gonna fuck up the animals. It's just like
My
a
steed.
palanquin. Okay. The journey to the Order is very uneventful because there are multiple people traveling along with you. And not because of, but you know that there are multiple people who are traveling along. This is a well-set trade route, except for the fact that most of the deliveries or trades don't happen directly at the main order building. They happen at an outpost that's just like down the hill, right? So you wouldn't have the location of the order itself is guarded, but there's enough need between these two main settlements to trade with each other. A lot of the food that the order has comes from this city. Most of the food, and also like from their hunters and rangers, etc. So you are traveling with a few like package deliveries. There's a guarded cart with like 2 hired guards that sets out only maybe 20 minutes behind you, that you eventually see as you are cresting up together, just because you can look down on a more clear day, that is carrying a number of like visitors. Not touristy, but it seems like maybe a caravan of noble related people who are going to have a discussion with the order for something or other.
Really?
This is where a lot of like the things that the order does, people pass through the city to get there.
So excited. Oh my god. What if the there's got to be like people who are working like on guard all the time. So what if as you go up to the order, there are folks who are like hidden in the mountains, and I know our uniforms are usually all black, but it would be really sick if those like rangers specifically wore like all white, or like had like full body coverage that was like, I don't know, some kind of stone and snow camouflage.
I think they've got these flat little things that you've built, you know, where you set up a structure with like hides. Yeah. So they're laying flat with this white material, basically impossible.
A blind.
Impossible to see. A blind, that's what it's called. Thank you.
Hell
so
yeah.
you've got like blinds in the hills. You know where they are because you've done that duty before.
Yeah. You've
Laid down for hours on end.
It's great.
Watching people approach.
Love it.
Making sure no one is dangerous. The day is calm, but the energy is building. The defense cohort of the order, you don't see any of them as you are approaching, but you are making your way up a mountain that is obviously well traveled. There are sets of these stone lights that are in the ground for about a mile outside of the order. They're not set in any particular pathway, but just occasionally you see this like black stone, similar to the material of the mountain behind, that is set in here to allow people who are approaching to engage. Even lives have been lost even 50 feet from the entrance to here. Like, this is still dangerous. But the knowledge that there is a group of knights that you are approaching does make this area feel just a little bit safer. The most safe that you felt outside of being in an established town here in the wasteland.
Oh yeah. What does it like look like when we roll up on it?
Yeah. Mount Ulior is one of the higher peaks in the Gale Peaks, but you are traveling not up to the peak of this mountain. This is not a building that's set on top, right? It is maybe a quarter of the way up the actual mountain, but nestled in a more flat area that is connected to the mountain itself, as well as almost like not a tent, right? But there is kind of like an angular tower almost of stone that is back and behind the order, with a lot of steam and smoke coming out of it. That's one of the most obvious things. This can be turned off at any point. So you see from afar, as you are traveling upward this established path, there's hard-packed dirt, a lot of snow around you, but the path itself on a day where it hasn't been actively snowing is actually cleared off by travel that goes back and forth, or maybe some keep it. So you're not having to like wade through snow in your It's pretty easy to travel. So as you see, up ahead of you, about 30 minutes away, it looks like a squat, black sand castle with a dome behind it, issuing smoke, to the point that it almost seems like some kind of hunched creature looking at you with its like large rump in the air. Kind of funny. But spread out around it, there are these elegant tracks through the snow where things have melted in a certain shape. Like, it's kind of unique because there is absolutely no snow on these pathways, so you can see almost like these kind of loops around it where there is no snow. It's as if almost like a hedge of some kind, except the exact opposite. Finally, when you are approaching it in size, and you see the other caravans, the other people beside you or just ahead of you, also kind of pause. There is this black gate with another outpost on either side set next to it. Literally a guard post, right? It is snowed slightly on top, almost archaic in its nature. It looks like it's been here for hundreds of years. Not like the gate that you had seen in Madeira's lair, but obviously some kind of ceremonial, like old passageway that you step through. And by gate, I mean this archway with metal bars, and then the stone kind of slopes off and around, and then it's open on either side. As if there used to be a wall fort of some kind here a long time ago. These two outposts are guarded by a set 3 each of knights. 2 of them are inside. You can't make them out, Matthias. You just know that there are people inside here. But there are standing, tall and proud, 2 knights on the either side of the gate as you approach it. The first one that you see is an orc. Maybe early 40s or 50s, hard to say, but wearing this like cap of some kind, almost like a pilot's cap, right? Not wearing a helm, so people can see the face of the knights as they're approaching, with these gold caps on their teeth, furrowed brow, fairly scarred as well, but has this spear of some kind with a flag coming off of it, more ornamental than it is obviously meant for battle. But the flag has the logo, that little symbol that Matthias has, the Black Lotus symbol upon it. Hard to see because there's not a lot of wind, but you know this to be the case. The pathway between the gate up to the order is completely melted. You can see that there is stone set here, and there is no snow upon it. And you begin to feel the ground warm underneath your feet. Like invisible ley lines of some kind that surround the order, where pathways are heated to walk around.
Heated walkways.
Heated floors, heated floors, heated floors, heated floors.
Awaish does, as we are approaching, and like all these guards are here, in spite of themselves, just get like a little more tense and alert in the way that someone who like has always had bad interactions with authority gets tense and alert around people who look like they have authority. Like they're just like head on a swivel but trying to hide it, even though like this is Matthias's place and they know objectively they're not going to get in trouble.
The other guard who is standing next to the gate is wearing a helm, but you see a thick mass of hair shot through with strands of white.
Is that
Vice?
Is that Vice?
He's playing a little trick.
Oh. Hell yeah. Matthias is gonna sort of walk forward and is just gonna announce himself in like the most proper, orderly way possible. Is gonna like do a full like parade rest situation, and then we'll like shout and announce his group. Probably just say like
Fulcrum Expedition?
Matthias Markhardt, the Iron Valerian, welcomes the Fulcrum Expedition to the Order of the Black Ice. And, like, we ask for peaceful passing or some shit like that. Something very dramatic.
You look nice.
You expect?
Thank you.
What do you think? Should we let him in? She kind of calls out to the other guard on the other side of the gate. And there's sort of a... I don't know. He didn't follow proper protocol. You're supposed to approach on your knees, Valerian.
I did not read that in any of our guidance. Do I know who this person is, this other guy?
Yeah. Yes. This is... Oh, I just had it up, 1 second. This is a friend of yours. This is Ethel.
Oh,
Ethel
yeah.
also doesn't usually guard, so it seems like maybe you were anticipated.
The welcoming committee. Aww.
Fine. He'll play along.
Are you gonna scoot forward on your feet?
No, he'll say, apologies. Perhaps I can make it up to you later.
Yes, that sounds acceptable. What do you think, Aster? The Order of Black Ice is pleased to welcome the Fulcrum Expedition. You may step forward and enter.
He's gonna walk. He turns and gives a little smile over his shoulder. He looks so excited. He's gonna like
So
turn
cute.
around and walk. Everybody's just like, yeah.
Barden is following like soldier footsteps behind Matthias. All of the knights training just kicking in where she was walking quite easily up. Now it's like shoulders back, like back straight, like head up.
The Order has a really great vantage point to look down over, not only where you came from, but also towards the wider way, right? The elevation that you're. You can also see, now that you passed beyond the gate, you approach this large set of buildings. There are a number of smaller barracks around it. The main area is connected into the mountain, similar to Icehole, right? Where you would have like a larger interior, maybe even underground areas. But there are a number of tents that are set up around like one of those heated areas that seems to be some kind of outside training area. With dummies that are set up. There is an archery court here that is also like shielded from snow with tent poles set up around it. There are people who are standing around and chatting with warm drinks. There's like an order cafe, like a cafeterium outside for outside training with warm drinks that are set up with people who are serving. This is where that noble caravan has been greeted. They have like given some warm drinks, are talking to some knights here. Not everyone here is a full knight. There are a bunch of trainees. Matthias, you recognize that parade stance in some of the trainees where they're like standing behind. You see a fairly young looking, like maybe only 14 or 15 human guy, probably with warm skin and just a bit of like stubble kind of growing in, and he is serving the drinks to these nobles. Like they're just doing duties outside here. But from this vantage point, as you look down, there's this unique telescoping effect where you can look between two other peaks in a way that's not like the V of a mountain meeting a mountain, but almost like a scoop, right? Like an explosion has happened there. And you can see between the two mountains, far, far, far out, to a cracked and smoking wasteland. Lines of black cut through a massive expanse of ice. Billows and clouds of dark smoke emit from them, like cracked puzzle pieces that make up a glacier. A huge glacier. And far in the distance, to you almost the size of a small miniature statue, you see some kind of giant creature stalking along this wasteland between the two mountains before it passes out of sight.
The hunger's strange, man.
What was that? Do I know what that is?
Way too far away to even see what it was.
Oh, okay.
Just there are creatures out there.
Did we all see that?
Welcome to the Order. We should probably go inside.
Bone, do you want to take us over to our map?
Yes! Order map? Everybody come to the map!
Ooh, oh god, I'm not even on
I don't know,
device.
can I don't know if I can bring people here.
Oh, I think you are.
There
I
we
just
go.
got reloaded.
Oh,
I've
Alex
done
did it.
What the fuck?
Order
Oh, no.
map! Hee
Holy
hee
shit.
hee.
I forgot
There
about
we
the
go.
about multiverse. Let's see
Yeah.
it.
Sorry, I
Oh, no rush.
Oh, I'm gonna go crazy, go stupid in this place. Oh, they got tinctures?
They got
they got
tinctures.
spells and potions? Tincture?
They got all kinds of stuff, baby.
Time for
Look
me
at
to
this.
steal your knowledge.
Where are you
Look
going?
at
Come
this.
back. You have to sign in.
Oh, okay, I'm coming back, I'm so sorry.
I'm just following my leader.
Right?
Okay.
Hello.
Here we go. There is a dragonborn, a warm-colored dragonborn, who is standing at a front desk as you step inside. This is the first sort of outer tier of the order, right? There are multiple buildings that are set inside this kind of area. They are connected to each other. It is all dark stone. Not a lot of wood in this area, although some of the interior have been lined with wood. There are certainly forests that can be found on the wasteland, but the decoration itself is not incredibly. You do see a number of bookshelves immediately upon entering, as well as a portrait that is hung over the set of bookshelves behind the entrance desk. The person in the portrait is familiar to you. This is a dark-skinned elf with a shaved head.
The
Black
Black Lotus.
I will be honest, I did really want it to be the Dragonborn in front of the picture of the Dragonborn. That was in my head the whole time. I was like, please, please. It's just the same position, just... Oh. Sorry.
Your animals are taken from you by a squire, who introduces themselves. They don't have a knight name yet, so they just as Laura. Not Laura. We already have a Laura. Lauren. That's what it was. As Lauren. And he kind of like sheepishly takes your animals, and the pupils blow out on this squire when he sees you, Matthias.
I've met this young person before.
Horny.
No.
This is like new recruit, probably.
You look so cool and so hot.
He makes sure to like he interacts. He tries to be very like conscientious with the way that he interacts with the young folks who are like incoming. So he makes sure to like thank this young person and hand him the reins, not just like throw it at him, and like say thank you. But he's like moving at a clip, but he's not being rude. I don't want people to think that now with his hot new armor, Matthias is like above it all, you know? Yeah.
And he goes, "Thank you for."
That's adorable.
And takes your animals. I'm assuming that you and your companions take some of the interior lodging.
Yes.
Right. Matthias, as a knight, you are of course entitled to your own room that is upkept for you.
He's got his room. He's got a room.
You've got a room.
But
It
we're
might not
gonna
be
find
big
a
enough
spot.
to fit everyone, but there are plenty of spots for visitors.
We have a sleepover.
You
Yeah, we
come
do.
to the interior here, and there's this sign-in desk. The vibe of the order is very not a hotel, except for the front room. Everywhere else in the order, nah. But here, there's a rug down. There's a book to sign in to, that is stuck full of notes and odds and ends. And this Dragonborn is the first person you've seen that isn't wearing some kind of armor or like knightly gear. The Russet Yarrow is a knight, but is of the researcher cohort. And they kind of smile in that like toothy way that a Dragonborn smiles, where their whole like their lips peel back and you can see the rows of shining teeth. Welcome. The Black Lotus has been expecting the arrival of the expedition. Rooms have been set and prepared for you.
Hello, Yarrow. He's probably gonna like go up and give him like a big old clasp handshake.
Hello. You can see the claws that a Dragonborn usually has have been filed very neatly. This is maybe a bit of a prissy character, I would say. You can leave their names in the book.
Are you alright, Oish?
Like, Caius looks over and they're like, I don't want their name in that fucking book.
Oh yes.
We can sign in ourselves.
Can we? I'll take them through it. You don't feel like you have to take them through the whole thing. I'm going to show them around and I'll take them through the whole process.
Oh, if you're sure. The Lotus would like to see you immediately.
Yes. Okay.
But if you'd like to show them around yourself, we can. I can ask one of the squires. We had set up a bit of a tour.
I
like
turn
on the
around to everyone
tour.
else and I look at them and I say, would anyone like to go on a full tour?
Yes.
By all means.
Are there those nice drinks involved? Because it's a wee bit chilly.
Oh, I imagine we can get something in order. If
Sure,
if
we
you
can
would
do that.
like to go on the tour, I believe I need to go and speak to the Black Lotus as soon as possible. So I might leave you for a little while. But I turn back to Yarrow and I'm just like, whatever they need, if you could. Food might be required first. We've been traveling for a very long
Certainly.
time.
And Kiara will look at Taz and be like, just without saying anything, just like kind of scratch her head before Matthias peels off to open some channels.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice,
think
smart,
everyone-
love that. Is Awaish basically
Neva's also
communicating
fair.
that she does not want to put her name in the book, right?
Absolutely.
I'm sure she can.
I mean,
I'll
Kiara.
put like a fake name down if I have to, but Oasis just
Yeah.
like if
You put down a
Matthias
fake
puts
name.
it down, like I gotta.
Oh no, he
Nick
wouldn't
Control.
put he wouldn't put your name down for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll let y'all do
Yeah,
whatever.
Kiara is signing in as Kiara, not her actual name.
Now, Matthias, you do know, one of the reasons that they have everyone write their name down is because access to the order is very strictly controlled.
Oh god.
For a number of reasons related to the things that they have here
Uh-huh.
and the things that you might see here.
Uh-huh.
So, be it on your head if a visitor passes through these walls without knowledge. Now, they knew that the expedition was coming, right? So, like, people know people are going to be here. But, you might have communicated to Awaish ahead of time. Or actually, I don't know if you would have known to communicate ahead of time. But if you connect in the head, like, they're very hospitable, but they have an eye on everyone who steps into these walls.
So real. I mean, that would definitely make Awaish feel slightly safer, but like full transparency, the reason that Awaish, this isn't like a paranoid, like, oh my god, people can't know my real name. It's like Awaish has taken a lot of steps to not be tracked and to not have other people like have consequences based on them being there. So if someone comes here and it's like, oh, this bitch was here, they don't want other people to get hurt. So
let's
they'll like use a fake name, but
I feel like I can ask Yarrow, like, we have people within this party for whom, like, visibility is a concern.
Yes.
So, like, surely there's some kind of process that already exists for that, because we do talk to weird bitches all the time.
I see. If you will give me one moment. He doesn't know any of your names yet, so he doesn't ask that. But Yarrow steps away for a second to the bookshelf behind him. No one else is in this opening area yet. They like kind of stagger people as they come in. And opens a drawer, reaches underneath, like his arm goes deeper into the drawer than you would expect. And pulls out a black slipcase. Sets it on the desk and opens it. And inside is not handwriting, but rather these like little pieces of paper. There is a nail you see. There's like a dripping of wax on the page with an imprint of a signet ring that looks very fancy. We have certain people here who have sought refuge from places they were before. If you'd just like to leave us some kind of token to ensure we know you've been here, but that would not be tied inherently to your right. Does not have to be physical from your body.
Whoever wants to choose to leave something in that way, it's more than welcome to.
Oh no, I want to look.
Yes.
While this is happening, I want
book?
to investigate. I just want to see if I recognize anything.
Sure.
If there's a signet ring, you know.
It is not a ring; it's the imprint of a ring.
Oh,
so
I know, but if it's a signet ring, if it's like a coat of arms.
Give me a history check.
Sorry, not to interrupt.
No, all good. Awaish, there is also, interestingly enough, on the outside of the slipcase, I forget what that stone is called, like an amber stone that is set into the cover. Meaning that this book probably cannot be scryed upon. Or used as a focus for scrying. You know, you can like scry on someone if you have a piece of their hair. This book cannot do.
Love that.
Anti-scry.
Yeah, I wish we'll take a button from one of their cloaks.
Not my gumdrop buttons.
You leave a little button in there. Yarrow seems very pleased. Oh. So you all are going to leave your names in here. Or whatever have you. Before I resolve that history check, I'm going to say that we're probably going to wrap up in a minute here. So this history check will be the last thing that we do, and then start up with the order next.
Yay. So I got an 11, but
an 11?
Is this important enough? I could roll again.
With an 11, you do not recognize the signet.
Oh.
But there are a number of minor nobility. Like, this isn't a king's signet, say that.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, the book is closed. Your names have been signed if you prefer to sign them, and you step into the bowels of the order, along with Matthias. That's where we're going to wrap up.
We fucking made it! 69
made it!
episodes
We're
in.
here!
We're
69,
here.
did it.
Hey.
Look at all these
my God.
guys.
Next time it's hot tub scene.
It's
Next,
so good.
next time is hot tub scene. Come on.
Hot tub.
Can't even wait. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks to One More Multiverse for our beautiful maps. Sloan helped me out with this map today. I can't wait to actually show you guys more of it next time. I'm very excited about that. To Soundtail for our music. And of course, you can find previous episodes of Strange Hungers, other streamed APs like Tragedy of Theologian, Finding Ithaca, Warren Guard wrapped up recently. We have some many amazing friends doing really, really cool stuff in TTRPGs on our YouTube, Total Party Kiss. Check out our socials. Twitter is also Total Party Kiss. Instagram is also Total Party Kiss. For insights into what we're doing and what's coming up, I believe we will have an episode next week, although keep an eye out on Twitter for announcements. And you can go chat with other fans of Strange Hungers, Chatter, Discord. Just let us know on Twitch or on Twitter and we'll help you out. That's it for today.
Thanks for hanging out with us, y'all.
Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks, guys.
And we'll see you next time.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.